Strengthening Teachers' English Proficiency, STEP, is a British Council project in Nigeria. The STEP pilot has been executed in 5 northern states, including Kaduna. STEP is delivered by the British Council through partnerships with Federal Ministry of Education, State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, and National Commission for Colleges of Education, NCCE. Joining us now from our Abuja studio to discuss the objectives and benefits of inclusive schools to students, as well as STEP teacher training as a means to catalyze the educational system of Nigeria, is Chikodi Onyemerela, Director of Programs, British Council, Nigeria. Good morning and welcome to The Morning Show.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Onyemerela, and thank you for joining us. Could you tell us about this STEP program, Strengthening Teachers' English Proficiency, and the number of subjects covered? It looks like the number of subjects appear limited to English teachers, mathematics teachers, and basic science teachers. And how much progress has been made in terms of impact in the pilot exercise in the 5 states that have been identified?
Thank you very much, Dr. Ruben. So yes, my name is Chikodi, Director of Programs, British Council. In the British Council, we have 3 core program, we call it SBU, Strategic Business Units. English is one SBU, though English, you will say, is a part of education, but for strategic purposes, we separated English from education. So we have English, we have education, and then we have arts and culture. Now, within our education portfolio, we cover higher education, schools education. In our context, schools means primary and secondary. And then, of course, we have what we call non-formal education, and in some countries, TVET. Now, what we did yesterday, which is the dissemination of the impact of our STEP program, Strengthening Teachers' English Proficiency, was to highlight, the various components of the program, and then the work we did in Kaduna State, starting with proof of concepts, training about 3,000 teachers on the use of, effective use of English. Now, it is effective use of English to teach English. And then you will agree with me that even other courses, physics, quantum physics, Ohm's law, Charles' law, all of them, we use English to administer it, So this is about the ability to teach English effectively for English subjects as a subject, and then to use English medium, to teach other subjects. As a matter of fact, if you are proficient in the use of the language, there is, every evidence that you can be able to deliver other subjects effectively, and then you get the desired student outcome. In terms of impact, because of, how effective, the program is, the Strengthening Teachers' English Proficiency, STEP for short, we did 3,000 teachers initially. And in all fairness, the Kaduna State government, investigated the nature of the program and saw how effective it is on the teachers that went through it. And then decided to scale it up and funded additional 6,000, making it a total of 9,000 in Kaduna State. And again, to actually, if that is, to praise the government, the Universal Basic Education Commission saw the effectiveness of the STEP program, and then obviously the importance of effective use of English for teachers, and then its implication on the learning outcome, decided to now scale up the STEP program across the entire country, 36 states and the FCT. Just a week plus ago, we're in Lagos to flag it up for master trainers per state of the country. A total of about 150. And these master trainers will now go ahead and then, deliver the training across all the states in the country. let me stop there.
All right, well, thank you very much. But let me dial back, because you have identified or chosen to go into 5 northern states. What was English proficiency like there? So a needs analysis, was that done before you ventured there? And then would you be looking to spread this program across different states in Nigeria beyond the north?
Well, there is a couple of evidence. Some of them are anecdotal, some of them informed by baseline, some of them some existing literature that alluded to the fact that there is a need. There's a need for enhancing teachers' English language proficiency, not just for the North. The need is ubiquitous. It's all over the place. But we started with the North. With the intention of proceeding to other states. So yes, the plan, is to start with the North and then proceed to all the other states of the country. And as I said, UBEC has ignited the engine by providing this, opportunity for master trainers in the whole state of the Federation, 36 plus Abuja, who will now be our foot soldiers, as it were, to deliver the STEP program across the entire country. So it's an entire country scope. The North is just a starting point, then we'll spread across.
Okay. I see that, yeah, you've done a lot of work in the North. I would like to know, what was your on-ground experience like while all of this went on? Be it all the anecdotal experiences and all of that, what was the read on ground? As regards the teachers, the engagement?
Well, okay, done.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, as regards teachers' engagement, to be frank with you, it has been absolutely receptive. Because there is a need, and the people admitted there is a need, all right? It's easier when somebody is sick and then admit that I'm sick, then I need a doctor. And then it will be easy for the doctor to step in, diagnose, and provide solutions. So there is a need, the people admitted that there's a need, and then that's why it's easy for us to step in and then meet the needs. So overwhelmingly, there is an appreciation. There's an appreciation. That is why the Kaduna state government added 6,000 in addition to our 3,000. And we adequately appreciated them, recognized them during the event yesterday. So the teachers appreciated it, the government appreciated it, and then the ultimate, in all fairness, let's be clear about it. This is the teachers, but evidence abound that get the teachers right, you get the students right. So this is about the students, in as much as, yes, our entry point is the teachers, but our ultimate is for learning outcome from the students.
Okay, but let me ask you, how does the program reach out to teachers that are in rural areas? Because it looks like the program is mainly targeted at teachers in the urban areas. And what are the challenges that you have observed in those pilot states which can guide, the sustainability of the program? Challenges in this regard in terms of cost, in terms of resources. So if you could take us through, some of those.
Yeah. So our approach, thank you, Dr. Ruben, this is very, very important. It's a critical issue, which stakeholders are working hard to see how we get through it. Our approach to delivering our capacity building program is through the government. So the government do the nomination. We don't go into the classroom and start nominating people. So we go through the government and they do the nomination. And then in all fairness, there has been an even distribution from what we will see. Both people in urban, peri-urban, and then people in the rural areas. But the challenge you spoke about there is critical because, this is 21st century. Most programs, both capacity building and the implementation has element of digital, digital utilization, mainstreaming, dissemination, and all of that. And as a matter of fact, our English portfolio has 3 strands. STEP is only one. The next is what we call stride, and then the other is sprint. So the challenge of continuing the next level in the program requires the use of digital tools. And when we are talking about digital tools, mainly computers, mobile phones, and the internet. And when you talk about the internet, you know what I mean in terms of how our internet integration into the rural economies are. In essence, it will be difficult for rural teachers, to access the internet and the cost of data. So internet and cost of data, to complete the whole cycle of the program continue to remain a challenge. And this is what stakeholders, both at government level, at institutional level, should help with.
All right, thank you. So I'm really glad you mentioned that even though it's the teachers that are being trained, the beneficiaries, the key beneficiaries you're looking out for are the students who will benefit from the teachers being trained. In terms of learning outcomes and how you hope to measure the outcomes, can you share with us a bit more in terms of what would success look like at the end of this program? Because we know that it's not just about implementation, it's also to see that there's impact as well. So what does impact assessment look like, and what would be a success story for you?
Yeah, so success for the program is multi-pronged. As a matter of fact, we want effective use of English language, to deliver English language as a course. And first of all, let us not undermine the importance of mother tongue. We appreciate the language policy that suggests the use of mother tongue or language of immediate environment at the early school days. We completely appreciate that. But we are saying that on transition to English medium, the effective transition and use of English language for the senior stages of education, be it junior secondary to senior secondary, and then obviously to university. And again, for you talking to me with English language, we are saying effective use of it is success for us. It was also, it's also success for us in the fact that if our children can communicate effectively in this international language, their chances of international mobility is increased. Their chances of securing international jobs, working on Arise TV, is also increased because they have effective command of this language. And success for us will also obviously be from the point of view of our target, initial target beneficiary, which are the teachers. And it's for teachers to now be confident, to be able to communicate effectively in English. I was a teacher. I taught at Federal Government College, Bama, Borno State. And I understand the importance of mastery of the language. Otherwise, you have avoided sometimes. You'll be avoiding sometimes in your classroom delivery. So teacher success, teachers is our success. The ultimate success of the students, our success. And then the success, again, from the point of view of the school leaders, head teachers, principals. Because there's a research, from the University College London, of the second, the most important attributors to student outcome, and that is teachers first, and then school leaders. All right, so school leaders commanding, using this English language proficiently, it's also a win for us. So those are the success criteria for us. And then we're happy that the government is buying into it, which we are also very, very delighted at. During the event yesterday, there was clear evidence, from both our external monitoring and evaluation consultant and as well as our in-house monitoring and evaluation expert that alluded to the fact that we met the targets. And then obviously, before we went on commercials, highlighting this very challenge of limited access to technology, effectiveness of technology, digital mainstreaming at rural areas, internet penetration, and the cost of data, which teachers find difficult to access. And it's obviously a challenge to the program. So success, teachers, school leaders, and then ultimately target beneficiary students.
Well, Mr. Onyemerela, well, unfortunately, we seem to have run out of time. Otherwise, I would have said I still quite didn't get your response as to how you address the digital aspect of it with regard to teachers in the rural areas. Electricity, for example. How many teachers in the rural areas have access to phones or can afford to operate tablets in the rural areas? And in any case, why is the program targeted at teachers who are already in service? How about pre-service teachers, the ones that are in the teacher training colleges who have not yet entered the system? These are some of the concerns, but yes, we seem to have run out of time. So we would like to thank you very much.
I wish I could respond to that.
If you can do it. If you can do it. I can
respond to this.
Okay, if you can do it quickly.
So our next program is Stride and Sprint. And Stride is targeted at basic IT proficiency, to be able to use, to open up an email and basic use of the IT. Then the Sprint is actually to now use digital tools to be able to deliver teaching, learning, and assessments. So it's a total package. But, the limitation you talk about of electricity, of broadband access to rural area, it's really a challenge. And then, it's actually, with due respect, it's beyond our scope. But we continue to engage stakeholders to see how that can be improved.
On that note, thank you very much, Mr. Chikodi Onyemerela. Thank you very much indeed.